What's up, YouTube Gen X? Okay, in my last video, I mentioned a friend, and I actually have a couple, who will feel where I'm coming from, but they'll fight me, right? Because they don't like the fact that my truth is more pessimistic more than optimistic, and they don't really like that, so they'll fight me even though they know what I'm saying has some sort of merit. Not to say that's the gospel truth, but they know it's true, um, and they'll fight me. Um, and oftentimes I'll get into, my friendly but heated arguments with my boys on the whole friendship route. I have some boys who feel like they can go the friendship route and it's going to work for them. And I always tell them, what's your track record? Okay, your combined track record, because I have a couple of guys who feel that way. And literally, they're like 0 for 20, 0 for 30, right? You know, there's been like one or two that, oh, is it going to work? It's going to work, but it's like they lose at the buzzer in the fourth quarter, so it's still a loss. It's never worked for you. That whole friend role never worked. You got close. Yeah, you may have got some pussy here and there, but you never got what you wanted. You wanted her. You wanted more than just sex. You wanted her to be your one and only, and it didn't work out for you. Um, so I'm going to talk about why the friendship route doesn't work. Okay, and I'm going to give you 4 reasons. They're not mutually exclusive. They're all related, but, the way I process it, it's easier for me to spit it out to you in 4 parts. Part number one. Part one. The sort of girl that you're going to want, right? Chances are she's going to be put up on game in terms of what to look out for. I prepped my little sister. My little sister gets a lot of attention. She's a very attractive young woman, and she gets a lot of attention. Um, and I knew this from the time the girl started high school, so I made it uh, higher up on my priority list to educate her on how men operate. Okay, the whole idea of me sheltering her and keeping her away from boys is not going to help her, it's going to harm her. So I taught her how to deal with men, not to play men, not to manipulate or control men, but how to deal with men in a constructive manner. And I told her that, hey, be wary of men that want to do the whole, oh, I just want to be your friend. Okay? You're an attractive young girl. Um, so this whole idea of a grown man, right, or just, a young adult male who's just going to come to you and say, I just want to be your friend is bullshit, right? It's flat out bull. I told her flat out, unfortunately, you're not going to have any platonic relationships, right? And she fought me on that, but now she understands because she thought that this guy was her friend only for the friend to try to get at her or try to run game. And she understands that now. You're not going to have any platonic relationships. Maybe some of your friends will, but trust me, sweetie, you're not, right? So know how to deal with men. So I've taught her, listen, let a man be clear with his intentions. If he's trying to get at you and, see where things are going to go, respect the guy who can do that, as opposed to the guy who's trying to take the back doorway, because that's not his goal. He just doesn't want to be your friend. See, for guys who want to take the friendship role, here's your problem. You're assuming that you're going to be labeled as a dog just because you state your intentions clearly. Hey, I'm trying to figure out where things are going to go. You can state how you feel and what you want in a respectful manner, okay? And you're not automatically classified as a dog. What men don't understand is that the bad boy players sort of dude, they have the game down. The part where they fuck up is that they don't have proper intentions. But if their intentions were pure and honest, they would be straight, right? So you being direct in terms of what you're looking for. Hey, I want to be cool with you, but at the same time, here's how I feel. You're not going to be lumped into that group of, excuse me, of men who, he just wants to holler at me, or, he's trying to play me. No. Okay? You're just being clear. It doesn't mean you have to have bad intentions. But by hiding and coming through with that whole I want to be your friend, you're fucking yourself up, because you're playing this game where you can be taken as the guy who's trying to run game, who's not being honest. Because once again, that's how some of these women are taught. I taught my sister, only really give the time of day to a guy that is going to at least initially be upfront, as opposed to him trying to lie. And I can see why men will try to do the whole friend route, because of the fear of being lumped in as the bad guy or the jerk. But at the end of the day, your intentions are still your intentions. You sell yourself on how you act and how you behave, right? Not on some words that you said initially. Secondly, um, taking the whole friendship route is a non-assertive approach. And women like men who are assertive across the board. It doesn't matter what culture she's from. It doesn't matter how God-fearing she is, okay, and how well she loves her dad, and how well she wants to be the traditional sort of Susie homemaker. Women across the board like assertive, take control men. Simple as that. And by you trying to come through and do the whole friend thing, you are saying that you are not an assertive person, right? Once again, the chick is an attractive woman, right? So you trying to say, I just want to be your friend. No, that's not what you want, right? So you're hurting yourself by trying to play a game, by trying to take this whole backdoor way. Because you're not selling yourself as somebody who's this assertive, affirmative sort of man. You're selling yourself like the insecure, shy boy, which is not appealing to a woman who is grown. It's just not. It's not cute. It's not attractive. Once again, I raised my little sister, right, to not go for that. That is an early indicator of somebody who doesn't have that level of assertiveness, not just in terms of dating, but just in terms of life overall. Okay, if you're that sort of go-getter, type A, assertive person, it's going to translate not just in terms of how you deal with women, but in terms of how you approach life, right? So that's an early indicator that you're not assertive, right? So if you don't want to be taken that way, do not use the whole backdoor, I want to be her friend. Um, Number 3, you are assuming that she is going to secretly understand that you really like her, okay? And I've made this mistake, and I've had some friends make that mistake with the whole, we're friends, but she knows I like her. I take her out, and I do X, Y, and Z, but you never made your intentions clear, right? You never did. Now, certain women may know, right? And they'll say, no, I know you really like me. But there's some women that will say, well, you never asked me, right? You never said anything. How am I supposed to know? And quite frankly, that's true. Okay? I lost a chick that way. Um, and she knew I liked her, and that wasn't a big deal, but I wasn't assertive. I wasn't affirmative. Going back to what I said before in part 2, that's what a lot of women are going for. So your high quality sort of ideal chick, guess what? That's what she's going to want. So you're assuming that she's going to read between the lines, and even if she does read correctly, she's going to still view you as a suitor, which is bullshit, because it may not work all the time, right? And she may say, well, if he's not man enough to voice how he really feels, do I want to be with this man, right? Um, Part 4. You're assuming by taking the whole friendship role that no other men of caliber is going to try to get at her. I'm going to keep it real with you. Yeah, you can pretty much do whatever you want if you know that you're pretty much the only quality dude in her pond. Okay, so the rest of the dudes is bum dudes, and they're not even close to you, right? You're at level A, they're like at level D. So you have more leeway, and you can do a lot of shit, right? But the second another type A comes through, and they're more affirmative, guess what? You're out of luck, because he's more direct. He's telling her, hey, this is what I want. This is what I'm looking for. I'm not really trying to be your friend, but at the same time, I'm trying to be cool with you, try to get to know you. How do you feel? And guess what? She's going to go for that cat because he's more affirmative. Okay? Even if he was at level B and you're at level A, well, the fact that he declared his intentions gives him points. A lot of men, there's a lot of good brothers, and I can't stress this point even more. There's a lot of good brothers who don't get chosen because they're not expressing their intentions or how they feel, right? The simple act of saying, oh, I'm checking for you means a lot to a lot of women. Quite frankly, it is almost like a defense mechanism, right? The sort of chick that you want, right? You want her to be intelligent. So why is she going to choose a man who hasn't said what he's looking for, right? She may read in between the lines, but he hasn't taken that sort of affirmative step and declared what he wants. What sort of man is going to do all that, right? So if a man can come through and be clear with how he feels, but at the same time let her know that he's not trying to, be the dog and player and, my actions will show my true intentions, he's going to be awarded points, right? Real talk. You guys know a lot of my background, okay? I've never really been somebody who felt like other men were better because I knew what made me special, and for me, it was being upfront with my intentions, and that always won me points because there would always be men that would want to take the whole backdoor sort of approach where it was with me, here's where I'm at, right? I'm interested in you, but let's not get it twisted. I still have to know you. We still have to hang out. And literally, it's done me, a great deal, in my life so far as an adult. Because it's clear, direct, and to the point. So there's no guesswork. And it's helped me out because now I don't feel pigeonholed, okay? There's the whole idea of I'm checking for you, but we have to see where things are. It helps because no longer can I be hit with the whole, well, you're trying to be a player, this and the third. Hey, everything's out in the open, right? If we move to the next level, we can be exclusive, but right now, you know what it is, right? So once again, for part 4, you'll lose when another guy of caliber, or even a dude who may not be on your level, but he's close enough, comes through and says, hey, well, I'm actually checking for you to see where this can go, versus you who's saying, oh, I just want to be your friend. And I'm hoping that you know. I'm hoping that you secretly know, and I'm hoping that you secretly understand that I really want to be with you. Think about how that sounds. And once again, think about it from the position of a father or an older brother who has a daughter that they're trying to protect, or a sister that they're trying to protect, right? Are they going to tell her to go for that dude or to not go for that dude? Yeah, he has good intentions. Yeah, he's about his business, but he's not being affirmative. He's not being a stand-up dude. And in a world where you have a lot of cheesy, sleazy men, you want a guy who can stand up for himself. You want a guy that can say, here's what I want, here's my intentions, and I can back it up, right? So you have to be that guy, right? You just have to. So that's my vid. I want to put this one up on YouTube and Gen X, so I'm going to end it here. And I think you guys got the understanding that I want to promote. So, let me know how you feel. Take it easy. God bless.